Stylebender took a L trying to get his second belt. He came up to 205 to fight the champ, Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Jan, if I'm not pronouncing your fucking name right, but your name's stupid. So
He was nice, though.
Son, he is, and Izzy even said it afterwards. He was like, if I have to lose to somebody, he's a great champ. He's gracious. He's sweet. Like, it's so weird. There are some people that need to get themselves so hyped for those fights that the person in front of them, they have to literally want to kill.
Yeah.
Right? But Jan seems like this guy, like, he doesn't seem like he'd fight dirty.
No.
Seems like he's going to fight by the rules. He understands it's the fight game. He's going to try to knock you out.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like the guy who would like hold you in a choke longer than he needs to or punch you one extra time after you're down just because. Yeah. And there are motherfuckers in MMA that like, they will choke you out, you're tapping, and they hold that shit until the ref stops.
Right.
There are people who see somebody unconscious on the floor and then jump on top. So he seems like this sweet, kind of nice guy, and he fought a fucking brilliant fight against Izzy.
He really did.
Like, he was ready for the leg kicks.
Yeah.
You know, Izzy was trying to catch him with that question mark kick.
Yeah.
Over and over again, he was able to block it. And he beat Izzy fair and square.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer, obviously, because that's our guy.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke to him. He said he's doing good. You know, it is what it is. And like he said, you know, like he was saying, dare to be great. And yeah, you should be great. Like the guy is coming up 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? To go fight the guy who is the champ, who's been knocking people the fuck out. And as far as I saw, I didn't see Izzy hurt one time during the fight.
No, the guy used his weight well, stayed on top of him,
Yeah.
and that was it.
But he landed punches on Izzy.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't see Izzy get stumbled. Like, he was able to handle the power, and Jan was just concussing people.
Yeah.
Like, one punch, knockout.
Okay.
The last few fighters that he fought. I don't know if you saw the last couple of his fights.
I think I seen one.
But he was just...
concussing 220-pound guys.
Yeah.
Like big boys.
Big boys.
And he's getting into that ring at like 240, and Izzy's staying 200 probably, seems.
Yeah, I don't know about 240. That'd be a lot of weight to put on.
I don't know. I'm throwing out numbers.
205 is where they fight at.
Yeah, okay.
So usually you could probably maybe add like another 15 pounds or something.
I'm an idiot.
Like
I thought the fight was at 220, and then
no,
stayed
205. Okay. 185 is what Izzy usually fights at. 205 is where he fights. So there's a couple things that are going on here. Obviously, I'm fucking biased. I want Izzy to win. You know what I mean? But he did get outpointed. He got... I thought that Jan's striking was phenomenal. Izzy's one of the best strikers in the history of MMA, right? And Jan was able to strike with him effectively. Yeah. Izzy landed his shots. Izzy rocked him a couple times. I thought one time he had him hurt, but Jan was able to be in there, and Jan landed a couple shots. I thought Izzy was going to absolutely dominate him with the striking, but Jan was going to be big to the point where if he landed, it could hurt Izzy. And it wasn't the case. Jan was effective with the striking.
Right.
So what I think happened was, is in a weird way, and I know you're going to go, oh, you just capping for your boy, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I think this is the best case scenario for Izzy fighting at 185 pounds.
Right.
I think this is best case scenario for a couple things.
Right.
One, where he's dominant at is 185 pounds. And there's a couple reasons why he's dominant. One, he just happens to be the best in the world at 185 pounds.
Right.
But he can use some of his advantages at 185 pounds that he doesn't exactly have at 205 with those bigger guys, right?
Like
what? At 185, he's significantly taller and longer than these guys. So what Izzy can do is he can hop in punching and kicking range and hop out of punching and kicking range whenever he wants, while also being out of the range of the person he's fighting.
Right.
So if you've noticed a few of his last like knockouts, like I've noticed they come from these lean back hooks. Have you seen it? Like he dropped Costa with that lean back hook. He dropped what's the other Australian guy that he fought? Robert Whittaker with that lean back hook. Like he just kind of he exchanges, he throws his combination, and he leans away from their strike while throwing this kind of like up left hook. It's a really odd punch, right? But super effective. It's harder to do that against a taller, longer opponent because you have to commit yourself to being in the danger zone more than you do against a smaller opponent, right? So he's got to take more fights at that weight where you're fighting guys that height so he could learn how to be effective in his striking without putting himself in too dangerous or too precarious a situation. Right? But what I love about this is the last fight he had at 185 when he took out Costa, that bum, he destroyed him to a point where... at least I was going, there's nobody interesting for him to fight at 185.
Right.
Like, he's too dominant.
Right.
It's the Khabib thing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to see Khabib fight Dustin Poirier again. God bless Dustin Poirier, but Khabib dominated him, so it's not interesting to see him fight him again.
Right.
He was too dominant, and all of a sudden you start to lose interest in the fights when people are too dominant.
Right.
Him losing to Jan puts a battery in everybody at 185's back.
Okay.
They're all going, oh shit, all you gotta do is take him down.
Yeah.
Oh, if you get him down, then you can control him.
Right.
Yeah. I want you to try that.
Okay.
I want you to try to get into grappling range with Izzy because he's going to piece you up and he's going to sit you the fuck down.
Right.
Right? So I think this is good because it really heightens the interest at 185 again, where there was none at all. And that's the division where you want to just see him dominate.
Right.
If he knocks out, I think he's going to fight Darren Till next.
Okay.
If Darren Till beats this Marvin Vittori guy.
Okay.
And him against Darren Till is going to be the most fun that we've ever had in a fight build-up on social media. They're both exceptional on social media.
Okay.
This guy, Darren Till, is very funny on social.
Okay.
Very funny.
Right.
He's funny in interviews. And the two of them going at it together in the hype of the build-up to the fight.
Yeah.
Also, they both finally fucking speak English.
Yeah.
I've been telling Izzy this for his entire career. Stop fighting these guys who don't speak English.
Right.
You got to do all the promoting of the fucking fight.
Yeah.
You're going to fight against a guy who speaks English. He can promote it to all the fans that also understand English in a really funny, effective way. That fight, he's got to get by this Marvin Vittori guy, but that is a super fight. I would be so excited to see that fight.
Yeah.
And ideally, there's fans back in there, etc. So I think this is very good for Izzy at 185.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. If John Jones goes and wins the heavyweight belt by beating the winner of Ngannou versus Stipe, John Jones has something over Izzy.
Which is
Jones went up in weight,
okay.
won a belt.
Okay.
Izzy went up in weight and he lost the
Right.
205 chance. That's not to say that Izzy can't go up and do it again.
Right.
But if John is effective, then he has something over Izzy as the current GOAT in the sport.
Right.
Right? So that's up to you. Let's see what happens. I mean, John Jones could get caught
Yeah.
by one of those big boys and then completely knocked out, and then Izzy got something over John.
Right.
He's like, you went up in weight, you got your ass knocked the fuck out. That being said, John Jones is a very good wrestler, and if Izzy struggled with Jan wrestling, Jan isn't a wrestler, but he's black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a good ground game, but he would struggle with John.
Right.
So it is just an interesting thing. Now, John doesn't have the power that Jan has.
Right.
So Izzy's going to go trade with John.
Okay.
If they keep it on the feet, Izzy, after feeling Jan's power and not getting dropped, he's like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for these 205ers. Like, I wonder if Izzy right now, I really want to talk to him on the pod. Izzy, come on the pod already, man. I wonder if after engaging with Jan and not getting hurt, if he's like, I should have just stood in there with that motherfucker.
Right.
Because when he exchanged with him, there was one moment where he caught Jan with a left hook, and Jan hid the fact that he was hurt well, but in the replay, you see him get staggered and kind of walking around. I think if Izzy knew how badly he was hurt, he would have put on a sauce.
Yeah. Right. He just didn't want to get exposed.
He didn't want to get, you mean he didn't want to get caught?
Yeah,
right?
like he can counter so well, but if he,
If he gets caught, because the guy has concussive power.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the fight, Izzy starts to realize, he's caught me clean a few times.
I can eat some of these.
And I ate him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would even like to see them go at it again, maybe later on.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a different fight. But also, you could argue that Jan would be like, I'm not even striking with this guy. I'm going to take him down. And if he doesn't improve his takedown defense or doesn't improve his ability to get back up when he's been taken down, I'm just going to hold him down there.
Right.
Which is what Jan did. Jan didn't do damage when he had him on the ground.
He just held him.
He held him.
Yeah.
And that's on Izzy. Izzy got to be able to get up from that.
Yeah.
And ideally, he learns, et cetera, and kind of improves that part of the game. But yeah, go.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. So can Izzy. I thought, I'm watching the fight, worried for Izzy. I thought he got caught a couple times in the third round, maybe. And then he got a little bit shook from it. Not shook, but like he got a little more affected than not feeling it at all. And I thought that's where he started to lose the fight. And that's why I don't remember at the, like, I felt like that's where he got a little more loose with how he was playing, and then he was able to get taken down. Does that make any sense?
Maybe.
I'm watching complete amateur.
He looked tired. He was saying he was tired, but I would say towards the end. Like towards the end, I think he was doing this like kind of like flow thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that was masking him just being tired. And you know what? I'd be tired too if I was carrying another 20 pounds with me.
Yeah.
He usually fights at 185, and he fights around his weight. So he weighs in at 185. I don't think he gains more than 5 pounds for a fight afterwards. So imagine you're carrying an extra 15 pounds around for a 5-round fight. That's different.
Right.
And
like
had the round of trying to get up from him.
You're being held down. 200 pounds
he was
on you.
done. After the 4th round takedown, it was.
I would say even the first takedown is what?
That was in the 4th round, I think, right? 4th and 5th.
The first takedown?
He got up from 1.
Oh, I thought it was earlier in the. I thought it was
maybe,
but I think that was a big part of the reason what gassed him.
Yeah,
he usually is good to go for 5 rounds.
Oh, he got energy forever. So it was interesting to see. But it is a different level of energy. Like when you're carrying around more weight, every clinch is different.
That's a good point.
You know, and you're also thinking differently. It was, I don't know. I know it seems like I'm capping for Izzy, but I really feel like for interest in 185-pound fights, this is the best thing.
Right.
In order to promote fights, you need to think the other guy has a chance.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Mayweather fights started to get boring? He was fighting Carlos Boldemir. Like, I actually went to that fight in Vegas, but like, he's fighting these guys. You're like, there's no way that Mayweather can lose to this guy.
Yeah.
So what's the point of me watching? And then Mayweather had to turn heel so hard, right? He had to become the villain so bad that you just bought it hoping he would lose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know if Izzy wants to do that. Like, I don't know if he wants to be like a villain like that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not his brand.
Yeah, it's like he's weird. He's like he's kind of like he's like the Joker. Like he's not a villain, but he's not a good guy.
No.
Like he'll knock you out and hump you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Captain America ain't doing that. So he's got
he's
this,
mischievous.
Yeah, he is mischievous. He's Loki.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not Thor, but he's Loki. He's not a bad guy completely, but he's not a good guy completely.
Yeah.
And it's relatable.
Yeah.
Because if someone's talking shit to you and you knock them out, you want to hump them too.
Yeah.
You don't got to do that good guy shit, handshake nonsense.
Get a stroke going.
Let's
go.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yo, Izzy's got to know what you sacrifice to watch his fights, bro.
Yo, that's true, man. We had, what was it? We were in Salt Lake?
Yeah.
And I was about to go on.
Yo.
Like on stage. So I just had Mark go longer.
Yeah. This man's mad stressed in the green room, pacing around like, come on, Izzy.
Oh, yeah.
How much time did you do?
45. No.
No,
I did like
get
20.
so.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I don't think Izzy understand this, but like I get so nervous.
I was super nervous.
There's
There's a crowd of people sitting in Salt Lake City so excited to see their favorite comedian that's packed out, all these people in there. The guy comes in, he's like, you ready to start? You're like, well, we can wait 3-4 minutes, you know? And he's just sitting in there anxious as fuck, sitting on the ground. Everyone's sitting on the couch. He's just sitting on the ground
I
in
was
front of the
freaking
TV.
out, dude.
Son, I'm so
Breathing
nervous.
hard.
I'm breathing hard. I'm shaking. I actually shake. This is with fights where like I'm invested in a fighter. I shake and I'm so nervous. And I literally am thinking, I just can't wait for this fight to be over so I can calm down and go on stage in front of people and talk.
Bro, people are chanting his name. Andrew. Andrew's in a fetal position in the green room, terrified for Izzy.
Isn't that crazy? I'm way more terrified of a fight that I have zero control over.
That's why you're terrified.
Yeah, I guess it
Because
is.
you have no control over it.
But still, like most people, their greatest fear is speaking in front of strangers.
Yeah, we're in a theater full of people in Boston, and you're like hanging out, taking pictures with people, having a good time. You watch Izzy fight, and you're fucking...
I am a shell of myself.
Conniption.
And it takes a second. Like when I go on stage, I got to like loosen up a little bit because I'm so tensed just from watching
They
it.
got to put these fights in the afternoon. You know what I mean? It can't be this late night thing where you're competing with your own show. I don't.
I've
Izzy,
got
switch
very
up the
important
shit
things
for us, yo.
The only thing I'm bummed about is we're probably never going to get the John Jones fight.
I think we will still. I think it will be later on. I think if John loses to one of those heavyweights,
It's happening.
it's guaranteed. Like, it's guaranteed. They both get humbled. They could both talk shit. John goes into the fight going, I'm just going to take this guy down. Izzy goes in the fight going, I could take any punch from that motherfucker. Laying clean as often as you want. I took clean shots from one of the hardest hitters at 205, ate it.
Yeah.
So I'm stepping in there. I'm exchanging with you. It's on. So I think we get it. I guess we got to hope that Stipe or Francis knocks out John. And also, if one of them knocks out John, like if Francis Ngannou goes in there with John Jones, that's not a decision.
Yep.
Like John might be able to beat him by decision, but if Francis wins that fight, it's night-night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if he gets knocked out violently, oh, is he going to have a field day on Instagram, bro? I cannot wait.